My name is Paul S. Beaker, M-E-E-K-E-R.
All right. And so, obviously, this is an important day in history. When this day comes, what comes to mind when you think about, the memories that you have, and do you think about this every year? I guess.
Oh, yes, yes. I just have to pinch myself to see if I'm still alive, because that was a very dangerous situation that I went through.
And you can talk to me. You can try to ignore the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yeah, you pinch yourself. I mean, that's something you feel very blessed to have survived, I guess. Obviously.
Oh, I feel very blessed, absolutely, to have survived. That was very horrific times. On Sunday morning, we were in the Army. We slept late, and that was a day off, of course. And we about 8 o'clock in the morning, I thought the roof was coming off the building I was in. But we'd had an earthquake about a month and a half before that. They have a lot of little earthquakes over there because of they got lava everywhere. And I thought it was just an earthquake. So I jumped up, and I saw planes out there, and I ran to the window there and looked, and I saw that rising sun on the bottom of their wings. And I said, oh my goodness, they are really making a realistic maneuver here. And about that time I looked up and I saw a big black bomb coming out from the bottom of it. And he circled around and it went out of sight. But see, we were located in a building at Wheeler Field. See, Wheeler Field, Hickam Field, and Pearl Harbor was just on the line. Well, in Hawaii, you're never too far from anything. It's just a small little island. And they were bombing Pearl Harbor and encircling us. But the main reason they were bombing us is because we had about maybe 100 fighter planes on the ground just lined up for them. And they just were tearing them up, and of course the pilots were trying to get out there to get the planes up, and I think we finally got a few of them up, but they knocked them right out. When I enlisted in 1939. Well, to start off with, I was military oriented. I started in the Boy Scouts, then I went to the ROTC in high school, then I joined the National Guard, and then I went into the Army in 1939. So I've been connected with something to do with the Army for a long time.
Why was that such a passion for you?
I don't know. I just thought that I wanted to do the best thing I could do. I was very patriotic, and I wanted to do the best what I could do for the country, and I was getting ready to. I had it in my mind I was going to the Army because in the Depression you couldn't hardly make a living, and I wanted to do a little running around all over the country. So I joined the Army, and they wanted to send me to the Philippines, and I said, no, I want to go to Hawaii. And they didn't sign me up right then, but later on they got in touch with me and told me they had an opening in Hawaii. And I said, well, write me down, I'll take it. So I went and joined. And I went out to this camp in South Carolina, there in Charleston, where they got they group a bunch of these soldiers from all over to 2 states they're going to send overseas, and we were there about 2 weeks, and I was sleeping in a tent on the beach, and and then we took off from Charleston, and we went to some harbor. I don't remember what it was then. Maybe some harbor there close to Charleston. And they put us on a huge ship, and we instead of going straight, we went through Panama Canal, and it took us over to San Francisco. And and when I got to San Francisco, I had a appendicitis attack, and they put me in the hospital there at Letterman General Hospital in San Francisco. And of course, it was a very minor operation. I was out in no time, and then I took the next ship going to Hawaii. Well, I did a kind of tricky thing there. I had an old soldier took a liking to me. I don't know why, but he said, "Now let me tell you something about these ships." He says, "Now, don't you answer any roll calls." And he said, "The last one, the one I want you to listen to is the one when they called you to come off the ship in Hawaii, and said you won't have to pull any KP. You just sit in the channel line because you know on the ships, they maybe 200 or 300 people to feed, and it was always a long line there in the food line, and we." When we finally got to Hawaii, the sergeant was called to roll, and he got to my name, and he said, "USOB, where you been?" I said, "I didn't know what company I was supposed to be in." So he said, "Get out of here." So that's the first thing I did. I outsmarted him a little bit there, but anyway, I was in the ordnance department, the 11th Ordnance Company in the 11th Ordnance Battalion. We furnished ammunition, and we had a garage. We worked on all the Jeeps and all the trucks and all the equipment, and we we wasn't really active in the fighting part of it. We were sort of supplying the soldiers what they needed. But anyway,